Oh, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the Efficiency Bitch podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Leone. This podcast is dedicated to all the women out there who are aspiring to have a career while raising a family. And bitch? Well, that's more than a name and even an attitude. We use it as an acronym. It's for bank, inbox, time, connection, and harmony. Each episode is labeled according to the correct topic so that you can efficiently find the topic that you're looking for. I'm here to tell you, you can have your cake and eat it too. The trick is finding efficient ways to get through the have-tos so that you can make room for your best life. I can show you how. Let's get started. Hey, welcome to the Efficiency Bitch podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Leone. If you've been around a while, you know I like time and money. That's my thing. Sprinkled with a little efficiency, I suppose. If you're new here, welcome to the Beehive. So each episode is either bank, inbox, time, connection, or harmony, and oftentimes they all blend together. And today I want to talk a little bit about inbox because I'm home alone with my 3 kids. My husband is out on a hunt. He and his dad went bow hunting for 2 weeks. He's been gone a week as of today, and I've had a lot of things on my mind that I wanted to share that kind of are funny and also a little bizarre, and maybe you can relate to them. So if you don't know me, you should know that I have 3 kids. They're 8, 10, and 12. And I have Efficiency Bitch, which I host a podcast. I wrote a book and I do speaking engagements. I also own a company called 2 Cents Consulting, where I do bookkeeping and fractional CFO. So I'm a pretty busy person. I got a lot going on and I like to get it all done. I also like to add things to my plate on a pretty frequent basis. Just last night, I volunteered to have my daughter's entire volleyball team over for a party next weekend. And I'm on 2 boards in Arizona that non-for-profit boards that I like to volunteer time at. I'm guest lecturing at a university next week. There's just a lot of stuff that I say yes to because I enjoy it. And this week I was laughing and I spoke to my husband about this last night. I said, you're gone. And I know that. And I feel this burden of having to get it all done. But also, like, the dishes are done and the kitchen is clean and the laundry is complete and the kids are doing their homework and like everything feels very peaceful and very done here. Like it's complete. And I said, did that happen when I was gone? So pre-pandemic, I worked for an amazing company where I was able to travel the globe for work. And I was gone quite a bit. I was doing 150 to 200,000 airline miles a year. And I said to him, did it feel like this when I was gone? And he was like, yeah, it did. Like everything got done, but one of us was missing. Right. And then when both of us are there, somehow everything's not getting done and the stress level's higher. And it's not about each other. Like I'm not mad at him and he's not mad at me when we're present. It's just the stuff seems to just be easier to get done. And so I was thinking about that. And I also am a huge Brené Brown fan, as I'm sure many of you are. And I listen to her podcast and read her books. And she has this philosophy about marriage marriage is not 50-50, right? It can't be because we don't all show up with 50 every day. Some days I have 100, some days I have 10, some days I have 50. Like what's your number of cares to give to help make the family function? And I think what I've really realized recently is that it's all getting done right now because I have to be the 100. There is nobody else here to manage. But when he's here and I'm at 50, but he's at 20, that deficit between us, that 30 that's missing is where the tension exists. So if I am like, I'm exhausted, I only have 10, but he's medium tired and has 50, we have a problem. We're not to 100. Where are we going to find that space for the 100? But when he's gone, I have no choice. I have to be at 100. And same for him when I'm gone. And it made me think a lot about single parents and the work that goes into being 100% all the time. Because there is a lot of energy that goes into that, particularly folks that have like no joint custody. One parent has the child or children all the time because there is never that break of having that space. So if you are one of those single parents, either with joint custody or solo, like, wow, because it's a lot more work than I think most of us recognize, who either don't have children or who have two adults in the house. So hats off to you for that. But it made me start thinking about, how am I going to continue to have this kind of not frustrated, okay, show up with everything I've got when I don't have anybody else to rely on when he's here? Like, why can't we show up for each other like that on a more frequent basis? And so I started thinking about the things in the way I behaved this week that are different than the ways I behave when we're both home. And one of those things is, I have a list in my phone that I created this week. I'm not kidding. I just started it a week ago. And it's in like the notepad section of my cell phone. And it's all of the things that came into my mind that I knew I couldn't get done this week, that I wanted to wait for him. You guys, there are 35 things on this list right now that I started a week ago. And it's things like make eye appointments for the whole family, get flu shots for the family, call Kendall's orthodontist, one of my daughter's orthodontist appointment. I need to call for that. Get the sprinkler in the front yard fixed, get the Halloween decorations down, come up with Halloween costumes. Like, I've just been writing this list of stuff that I knew I would not get done this week, and I would wait until he was home for one of us to tackle them. They're not necessarily his to-do list. It's just stuff that I knew I'd have bandwidth to think about once he was here. So I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to challenge you, that if you are in this situation right now too, I'm going to have this running to-do list of things that can wait, but like, they need to be organized, they need to be delegated or actioned, but they're not burning fires right now. And maybe that will help some of the rat race feeling that is always around. I mean, I'm an incredibly efficient person. I mean, I wrote a book about it, right? Like, it's my thing. I love it. But I can also get a little bit too efficient, and I can get a little bit too over functioning. So this gave me this opportunity to like really reflect on, how do you get out of that over functioning sometimes and say it's okay for something to wait, or this list of items is available when I have more bandwidth, but it doesn't have to be done right this second. And I am absolutely one of those people who, the moment something comes into my head, I want to go get it done. And I'm learning to chill on it. So, I just wanted to share that with you. I kind of felt like if I put it out into the universe, maybe I would continue to move forward with it. It's part of my efficiency evolution. And I hope that either helped or resonated or maybe made you laugh. I'm not sure, all of my silliness with the ideas of this, but my goal is to keep my life and my head as stress-free as possible, so that I can really enjoy all of the things that we've built and the amazing life that we have in front of us. So I hope that for you as well. And wherever you may be, I hope you're enjoying listening to the podcast. I'm really glad that you're part of the Beehive, and please make sure you've subscribed so that you don't miss next week's episode. Until then, I'm your host, Melissa Leone. See ya. Well, that wraps it up. Thank you so much for listening. If you're new around here, please be sure to leave us a review on any podcast platform you're listening to. And you can always reach out to me to let me know what topics you're interested in hearing about, or maybe telling me someone you think would be great for the show. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at EfficiencyBee. Until next time, see ya.